Hello, welcome pen friends. It's time for Chris's Inked Pens for November 2021. I can't believe we're already here. It just seems like October went so fast. So today's Halloween. While I'm filming this, it's kind of late in the afternoon, so definitely pen friends other places are already on November 1st. So anyway, I've got 9 pens here. Actually, the last 2 I have inked with the same ink. So we'll go through them and then we'll look at the ink and you know, do writing sample. And then I have a couple of notes, just a couple of things from October. Nothing real intense about that because we've already done a report card and everything. But okay, so the first pen is new to me. I got penfluenced by Heldon Wrights, and this is my first Sailor. It's a Sailor liqueur in the rose quartz, and it's got a fine medium nib. I have a converter on order, so right now all I'm using is just a black cartridge, but I think that I'm going to like it better with the converter, so that'll be here in a couple of days, I think. So next up is an old favorite. It's my Lamy Safari and Lamy Dark Lilac, and I just really had the hankering for a certain ink, and I know how it goes in this pen. Ooh, you can almost see in the ink window what's going on in there. How it goes for note taking especially, so I've got a fine nib on it. And then I'm back in, I just can't stay away from these Opus 88 pens. And this is my Opus 88 Demonstrator that was from Stilo Stiles. Now, this is the pen that didn't arrive, and they sent me another one because it was weeks and weeks. And then after 4 months, or maybe it was 5 months, it did arrive, so I had to ship back the other one. But just really happy that it wasn't completely lost in space and that they got it back. So I've got the broad nib unit in it. I considered even using one of my parallels in this one, but I really wanted the broad nib. The thing is that November is going to be with a lot of letter writing and cards that I probably will prepare, so I really wanted the broad nib. Now, next up is one I haven't written with for quite a while, but it is an old favorite. It's just a Wing Sung 3008 with a Lamy fine nib. And I debated back and forth about putting the broad Lamy nib, but that's something that could just be done so quickly and easily, it doesn't even matter. I can go back and forth even if I want to. So what I love about this one is it's got a wet flow. So, you know, it gives me an even wetter flow than an actual Lamy, and I just really love it. And the ink that I chose for it is so pretty. So anyway, I just couldn't help it. And we'll talk ink and colors in a minute here because it's hard for me not to just blurt everything else out all at once. But okay, next up is one of my 2 favorite TWSBIs. It's the TWSBI Go with a broad nib in clear. And so I had to do that for my letter writing. So there we have it. And then next up is the rOtring Core. I have 2 of these. They both have the XL, which is kind of like a medium nib. And gosh, I thought I haven't written with that in a while. And it's like it was my best friend there for a while. So I want to write with it again. And I think I've made a pretty neat ink choice for it too. It's not that it's a dry nib, but it's I think it benefits from a nice wet juicy ink. So anyway, okay, next up, you could probably tell why I included this. This one didn't make my top 5 this year, but it's still one of my favorite pens. It's the Moonman M600S in Tiger's Eye, and I've got a Goulet broad nib on here. So again, letter writing, lots of cards going out. So I still wasn't quite sure if I even had enough, because I'm dealing with a couple with fine nibs, but then I've got my Serendipity handy that I can, you know, add to for letter writing. Okay, then the last 2, I said I've got the same ink in them. This is the Nemosine Singularity with Nemosine 0.8 stub on it. It's a nice rounded stub though. It's really nice. I like it a lot. I know I've inked it up this year quite often, but that's just the way it goes. I saw it and I thought, no, I can't resist it. So, and then here is my Noodlers Ahab with the Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex Extra Fine. And you can kind of see that brown ink going on in there. This is really suitable ink for this pen, but I also wanted something that would dry a little faster for letter writing, so I just decided to just do both. So, okay, I think now it's time to just hop in and take them individually. So, okay, and for I have just finished completely my currently inked the first one there, and I'm starting this one, but this one I'm gonna keep it maybe a little bit cleaner for report card purposes. So I've already written just the inks in the 9, and this will be where I do the report card. So next time we meet for the progress report, we'll be in this book again, and also I will also log in longer writing samples then too. So but for today, what I've got, I finally got a Galen Leather Everyday book with the Tomoe River 52 GSM, and I'm just kind of enjoying this just for, you know, little entries and not scribbling, but you know, just for the preliminaries. So I thought that it would be kind of nice to, I'll be in this one longer, and I do love this sticker that I got from Alicia's shop from Adventure Denali, and I love this. So I was in the other one for quite a while, so I've got high hopes that I'll be in that for a while. So first up is the little Sailor liqueur with the Sailor Black cartridge. I decided to do a tile for myself just to kind of see what it looked like. I don't have much experience with the black Sailor ink, but I've had quite a few samples, and the more I deal with Sailor inks, the more I love them. So. Okay, and this is very fine, at least so far, and with this cartridge and so on. This is my very first experience, but it's smooth, and that's what I really love. It's super smooth. It's just, most people would say, is this Chris? Because, you know, I like my broad nibs. But this is a whole area of study. This is a brand new thing. I don't know about replacement nibs. I don't know about what Sailor's broad nibs are like. Whoops. Oh dear, sorry. Didn't mean to rock the boat. And so I'm just starting at kindergarten level with Sailor. So I mean, it's fun, actually. It's really fun to do, you know, something new like that. Whoops, I need to hold it right. Sailor, and I know they put the name on the cap, which is so handy. Le Cool. It said fine medium. I did order mine on Amazon. I'm going to fix that because I know that it'll drive me nuts. And it was how I was holding it, I think. Okay, and then this is a Sailor Black cartridge. Okay. So it's very, very, very fine so far, but I'm wondering, I do have another cartridge that came with it that I flushed out already, or I put the ink in a little vial when I made this tile, and I'm just thinking, whoops, that's terrible. I need to see how this does with another ink that I'm really familiar with, because I just think it'll make a difference, because it feels somewhat dry, but it's a black ink, so I would expect that. And it's just, I'm opening up a brand new chapter here, so. Okay, and then next up is an old favorite ink, J Herbin Amethyste de Laurel. It's from the 1798 series with a shimmer, and oh, it's just one of my very favorite inks of all time, so. Goodness, I just need to settle on where I'm gonna be. And hopefully in the frame so you can see. Whoops, everything shifted. Okay. This is buttery smooth, and that is not just the nib, that's the ink. So Lamy Safari. It's fine nib. Oh, we're gonna put dark lilac. So I'll remember, you know, a long time from now what I was writing with. And J Herbin. Oh my goodness, got all kinds of misspellings over there. Oh, I guess I just ran everything together. Okay, and I do like to do a little bit of a, whoops, yeah, you can tell that's juicy. Okay. I don't have any question about this. It's going to be real flowy, and I know that it works really well in my Leuchtturm. I like it for that, and I like it for all of my notebooks, so I won't have any problems there. Okay, and next up is Monteverde California Teal. I am trying to be really, really good. I had a few ideas about other inks for this pen, but I already have the Monteverde California Teal, so I'm going to be writing with this and using this up. I already used up that large sample of, what was it? Scribbo ink. I can't remember the name, but that was the last fill that went into this one. It was Scribbo, and it was really nice. But this is very similar, and I think I'm going to be really happy with it. I do have that, the valve open, so that I'm ready to go. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Opus 88, Demonstrator. I always like to put Demon. Oh, I'm just being silly. Okay, and it's the SS, Stilo and Style. Probably saying that wrong, with a broad nib. And Monteverde. California Teal. Yeah, it's one of my very favorite inks. Woo, look at that. It's right off the tracks. I love it. Okay. And next up, I'm really into pink and magenta and fuchsia this month. I had all I could do not to just go for just nothing but brights, but I want a balance. I want a little bit of a balance. So this is Kobe number 41, Suma Rikyu Rose. I love this. My pen pal from Australia first wrote to me with this, and I just went crazy for it, just absolutely crazy for it. So I've got it in this Wing Sung 3008, which is a pen that I probably should just have it inked up all the time. I love it, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's just that, you know, I'm always trying to find ways to use all of my other pens that I've sunk quite a bit of money into. So, okay, here we go. It's got a really superior flow. So it feels to me like a really juicy medium coming out of this particular, what do you call that, gizmo that, oh my gosh. I can't talk. It's too late in the day. That's horrible. Feed. Good heavens. Okay. Wing Sung 3008 in the clear. Fine Lamy nib. Kobe number 41. Suma Rikyu Rose. Okay, and I have a feeling this is going to kind of go off the charts. Whoops, well, I disturbed my word too. I definitely think that this is one of those exceptions where, for me, where a fine nib is going to be just okay for letter writing, because as long as it flows quickly and smoothly, buttery, I'm happy with it. So, okay, next up is another pink ink, because for some reason I got really excited about looking at Lamy Vibrant Pink again, and I just thought, well, why not put it in the TWSBI Go, because you know you love that nib. So that's what I've done. Put it in there, and I didn't let it bother me that it was so close. Well, it's not really close when you really look at them together, but I thought, two pinks. What's going on here? Whoops, probably should have sloshed it around a little. The Lamy Vibrant Pink has particle, and it's not something I made a mistake early on and didn't realize, you know, wasn't really thinking about that. So now I know that I have to agitate that ink real good. TWSBI Go. So now you're starting to, you could see the difference, at least even in the with the camera and lighting. Clear, broad, Lamy Vibrant Pink. Okay. Oh, I had a contamination. We'll put an X there. That was a, oh, I guess I've been doing this finger smearing all day, so that's not good. I got to use another hand, I guess. Okay, so next up is I decided to go with Parker Quink Blue Black. It's one of my very favorite inks, believe it or not. And sometimes it does surprise me, but it is. When I was younger and all I could get was blue cartridges, it was bright blue that was irritating to me, but I do like the darker, the deeper blue like this. So this is the rOtring Core. Titanium, I think, is, if I'm not mistaken in that. I hope I'm not. Okay, so there we go. And I noticed this pen likes this. Like, the nib really likes this ink, so I'm happy with that. rOtring Core, Titanium, XL, which equals medium, they say. Parker Quink Blue Black. I figured this would be neat. I'm actually expecting to use this more as a note taker and not so much as a letter writer. I love it. I love the novelty of it, and it's very hardy. It can go anywhere with me, so it's going to be really fun, I think. And last time I used this a lot in my CVS Caliber notebook for study that I'm doing, and I'm right back in that again real deeply, so I'm sure I'm going to be using this for note taking along with that Lamy. Okay, then next up is the Moonman M600S with broad nib, and this is the tiger's eye. So I decided on Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. Now I was back and forth, and when I saw how this was writing, I was even more so, but because I thought, maybe I'm mixing up bronze. I have Robert Oster bronze as well, but I'm happy with this, so we're going to stick with it for now. Last month, I just kept hopping around, changing inks. I was like, you know, this, like a kid, like you make a child dinner and then they want something else. I was acting like that. Moonman M600S. I hope I'm not mangling that. Anything I do mangle, I try to correct in the description box, but still. Tiger's eye. I haven't written with this in a long time. Broad goulet nib. Okay. All right. Just on a side note, I just made a channel allowance, pen allowance order from Goulet, and I did get another number 5 Goulet nib. I love their nibs, and I got it in broad because my little Moonmans would get even more use if I had another one of those, so I had to correct that. It's one of those things I put off and put off, but it was time. Gold Antiqua. Okay, that's writing nice and wet. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if we got a corner here to... Very nice. Definitely for letter writing. Hopefully I've left myself a few that complement each other. I don't know. I guess I didn't even worry about that this time. Okay, then the last 2 pens are both with my favorite brown, warm brown, which is SBRE brown. And the camera does some naughty things to this and makes it look orange, but we have to kind of understand that that's what it does. So first pen is the Nemosine Singularity with the Nemosine 0.8 nib. And I really love this. I can't believe how much I love that 0.8. And I've looked at it and looked at it because I kept thinking that it was 0.6, but it does say 0.8. Okay. I think the last ink I had in this was either Texas, Sailor 50 States Texas, or I can't remember, but it was right along those lines. Okay, and then SBRE brown. I still remember how sick I was when I ordered this ink, and that's probably why I got to order it, because I was home with like a flu, and I got the email that it was available. So, you know, it goes through stages where you can get it and then you can't get it, and yeah, and I had been trying for so long, so I was really excited. Okay, and then same ink, different pen. This is the Noodlers Ahab in clear with the Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex Extra Fine. And I'm trying to get used to this. I love it. And where I'm really practicing is just as I'm taking notes, I sometimes pick this up because it's really good on CVS caliber paper. The caliber paper needs a nice wet ink anyway, and so it's really nice on that, and I can just sort of throw in some practice and let it dry, and it's been a lot of fun. So but for the most part, I don't have a lot of patience for calligraphy and for really beautiful writing. I'm just a fast writer and just somebody who's always writing. But still, I love it when I can slow down and make my writing prettier. So. Okay, clear. Fountain Pen Revolution. Ultra Flex Extra Fine. Okay, and I know what that is, otherwise that would be puzzling, but BRE brown. Okay. See, you know, I've got to slow down and probably got to go back and take Marilyn's classes again and, you know, watch and practice, because it's really about practice, I know. And I'm not really all that good about slowing down for anything, so. There, okay, so that's going to be a lot of fun, but I couldn't bring myself not to have it in a little bit more of a normal nib that isn't quite so Cadillac-y and fast, so I did it in both. And I figured that's all right. I mean, these are not hard pens to clean, so there's no need for me to restrict myself. So, there we have it. That is everything that I'm starting with anyway for November. And I want to go back and just make just a couple comments about October. So I'm not going to get really deep into it, but there were just a couple primary thoughts. Let's see. As many little booklet things as I put in here, and I still didn't get on the right page. Okay, oh, I guess this was my... Okay, so here's the page that we're talking about, and what I wanted to say was my very favorite combination for October was the Opus 88, the all clear one with the 3.8 parallel nib. That has opened up a whole world. That is so nice, and I just loved it a lot. And the Diamine Autumn Oak, Diamine Ochre is just fantastic for that. And now I'm going to try a little bit thinner of a nib, a 1.5 and I think a 3.0, to try and see how it is just a little bit thinner for my writing. And then I had two pens that sort of stood out. Okay, the Pilot Vanishing Point, I had 4 different inks in it. I started with Birmingham Antique Sepia, then I went to Diamine Red Dragon, then Diamine Pansy, and then Pen Friends sent me this ink, which is a Pilot ink. I can't pronounce it, but it's a beautiful ink, and I'll show you the writing sample in just a minute, and mentioned that this Pilot Vanishing Point might really get along better with a Pilot ink. And I know that's not the first time someone has told me that, and I just wasn't listening. I wasn't getting it. So I did end up listening, because I thought, well, after 3 failed inks, but not being very happy, I put it in, and I wrote with it, and I was really happy with it. Like, it was a, not the wettest combination, but it was so smooth, and I wasn't having any kind of like weird starts or anything. And I thought, well, if that's all it takes is to use actual Pilot ink in my Pilot Vanishing Point, then that's good. So I got along really good with it. Now, I did also put the same ink in my TWSBI Diamond 580. It wrote a little wetter in that, but I love the ink, so I could have had it in like as many pens as I could put it into. So that is really neat. Okay, then I think if I back up, yeah, in my page. Okay, this was the other really neat surprise of the month. Because if you notice from there were a lot of A's, and it was just really good. I enjoyed a lot of the pens. I really liked the vintage Persian Rose, the Schaefer ink. That was really nice. Lamy Dark Lilac, I always loved that. And that was really smooth and really nice. And then the Diplomat Magnum, that broad nib was really good. And of course the Pumpkin, which I've already cleaned out now. Kind of, that was really, really bright, but real pretty. And I'm still working on the TWSBI Emerald Green and the VAC 700 Iris. That's, so everything pretty much worked out well. But, kind of not from the beginning, but at some point I inked up this little platinum little shooting star with a fine nib on it, and I started playing around with it, and I did a nib tuning on it, and it just turned out to be such a delight. I just couldn't believe it. Here is my longer sample. May have already showed you before, I'm not sure, but I've got in it Waterman Tender Purple, which is just such a nice ink anyway. But this is so nice. This is like, I really think I'm going to go ahead and keep this in my purse. I've carried it around on one of my little daily writer notebooks, but right now I do have something else attached to that. I guess I got my Pilot Varsity going on my Commonplace book, but I think this will just go right into my purse because I feel really confident with it. It's got... I stole the converter off of the 3776 for now until I order another one. And I really like a converter better than a cartridge. In most cases. I mean, sometimes the cartridges work out. So these were the two really neat, you know, things really were irksome in the beginning with the Vanishing Point, but now I've learned to listen to you people, pen friends that know a lot more than me. And then the fact that my own nib tuning resulted in me being so happy with this little Hello Kitty pen. And this is one that pen friend Marilyn sent me last Christmas, and then a pen friend MB sent me this little bottle of ink, which really saved the day with the Vanishing Point. So it's really kind of exciting. I think, you know, I'm really looking forward to what I've got going for November. And then I can't get it out of my mind about December, because December is going to be all about the Diamine ink event. And what I decided to do is each day when I get the little bottle out of my wooden Christmas tree advent, I'm going to put them in regular... what's left, which is, I think I've got like a 3.5 or so mils left that I kept for myself. So I've already pre-labeled all these, and that's what I'm going to be doing. But it's like, that's December. Let's concentrate on November. Let's, you know, let's do the letter writing and some cards and whatever else I need to do. So I think this is a really good start. Who knows how many more I'll add to this. But my pen case is not looking too overloaded at all. In fact, I've got the, well, these will go back in for now until I decide where the Hello Kitty is going to go. And I'm going to finish the fill on the Vanishing Point. And then I've got just a little bit of the TWSBI Emerald Green in the VAC 700R. And then this pen is just pretty much never empty. It's either got one of two inks in it all the time, and hasn't gone down too far either. But I think it will, because I've been putting this out when I write letters, and so I think I'm going to end up finishing this and then working on cleaning it. Oh my goodness, I guess I must have dropped it, or Coco did, because I got to take that to the sink right now and get that cleaned out. Okay, so that's a good segue to saying goodbye for now. And I really hope that you've got some pens and inks that you're excited about for November too. And I can't wait to hear about it in the comments. And I really appreciate you being here. And I could see 30 minutes on there. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.